Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I'm back with another great, interesting topic. I want you to look at this video clip. This man, he caused quite a little bit of a stir because he says that he makes sure that he hires Black people. He has his own business. I believe he works in finance, and some people were upset when he said this. You know, they felt like it was racism, even though he's white, that he said, no, I will hire the qualified Black person usually every time. Okay, I'm sure he probably hires people who are not Black as well, but I want you to listen to what he said. And if you listen closely, he said qualified. He's not just hiring random Black people to work at his company. You have to be qualified for the job. Okay, and he's going to give you an opportunity and give you a chance. I want you to listen. Listen to this.
I work in finance as a manager, and I just want to let you know that any chance I have to hire a qualified Black candidate, I'm going to give them the job. Every time. If they're qualified, if they're impressive, and I have a white and a Black person, I'm hiring the Black person. Every single time. And you might think to yourself, why, Dylan? That's so racist. We got rid of DEI. That's not fair. Yep. The amount of unqualified white people that I work around on a daily basis, the amount of white people that have homes because of their great grandpappy who bought it for a nickel, I don't give a damn about you. I think that you've been lucky. You've been given stuff that you haven't deserved your entire lifetime. That's why equality feels unfair. So again, if it comes down to it on paper, who am I going to hire? The Black guy? The white guy named James and Charles? No, I want the Black person every time. It's the very least that I could do. That's how I use my privilege to benefit the rest of the world. So if you're upset that Black people are given a priority, look in the mirror and realize that you, your uncle, your dad, your grandpa, your grandma, and your whole lineage is probably where they are by a little bit of luck and some hard work. Black people just have all the hard work and no luck. I'll change that. As a follow-up to my last video, I had dozens of people in my comments, some happy and appreciative, other people not so happy because I said that I like to hire Black people. I wanted to make a couple clarifications on my video that I'm not retracting anything I said. Instead, I'd like to double down because what I said, I specified in the video. You must be qualified and you must be impressive. But if you are both those things, qualified and impressive, being white will not give you a leg up and being Black will not hold you back. I promise those things to be true. So if you're telling me in my inbox that it's racist, it's illegal for you not to hire the white people, really? You're telling me that I should hire unqualified white people just because they're white? Is that not the definition of DEI or racism or prejudice? What I'm saying is, I don't care who your grandfather was. I don't care what your last name is. I will interview everyone that applies. That's the basic respect that I owe people. However, I do think that Black people, a lot of times, have great stories. They have a lot of different obstacles they face. They know how to traverse things from the eyes of other people, which is a trait that I really like in the business world. So yes, I will double down on the fact that if they are qualified and they are impressive, I love hiring Black people. I love working with Black people, and just being white will not give you an advantage. It won't hurt your chances necessarily, but it will not give you an advantage. That's what equality means, and I stand by it.
Billionaire tech and entrepreneur Mark Andreessen explains inadvertently how DEI has crushed the African American community. Wait, the foundational Black community.
It actually also affects African Americans in a very interesting way, which is actually both the universities and the corporate employers are literally, this is true, they literally import Africans so that they don't have to hire African Americans because they still count as Black. There was a great story. The thing that woke me up to this, there was a story in the New York Times 20 years ago about Harvard. This is Harvard admits, Black students, but which ones? Back when the New York Times could talk about these things honestly. And it quoted actually Henry Louis Gates and Lonnie Guinier at the time at Harvard Law School, basically observing that African Americans were not benefiting from an affirmative action because Harvard had figured out that they could import Nigerians. Right, and again, it's just like, great, the Nigerians are great, they're very smart, they're very productive, it's fantastic, all other things being equal, you'd like to have as many of them in your country, but like, is that really why we're doing, the set-aside programs?
This is a part of American history that most immigrants, and specifically I want to talk to the Africans that come here, this is the part of American history that you guys don't understand. And this is why you may think the Black Americans are always complaining. You guys have to understand now we are not a guest here, right? We didn't just get here and like you guys. We're on a completely different program and the government treats us as such. Let me read this to you. We are the only group in this country with a moral, legal, and historical claim to reparations, land restitution, and policy power, and the moral authority to challenge the foundation of America. We're the only group that has been here since the beginning. We understand the law of the land. We know how this country was started. We know every single step that this country has been through. And when you have people like that, that's the higher ups don't want to fight with people like that, right? So what they do is they use DEI to go get they import people who look like us to then put them on the screen, Ketanji Brown Jackson, Karine Jean Pierre, to make it seem like, yeah, we do hire black people. Those are first generation people here. Those are not black Americans. They don't look at this country like we do.
Okay, so look, again, it riled up a few people because you don't often see that many white people saying this, at least not publicly. It does happen, but you don't see them, some of them, even acknowledging that there is disparities, that things are not as equal as you want them to be, and that, yeah, he looks out for black people to have employment. Okay. Now, here's the thing. This is really great. There are a lot of people saying this is what being an ally is. He said in the video, I know that I have privilege. I work with white people who are not even qualified, who have homes and things passed down to them and got jobs and they were not even qualified for them. I know how the game works. I know what's going on. And I am going to look out for a black person to get an opportunity because a lot of black people have a lot of skills and could be great for the job, but don't have luck because of a lot of racism that goes on. Is this always the case? No, but it does exist. Okay. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him doing this. Again, he said if they are qualified. And here's the thing. I know that there are plenty of people who are not black, who are not racist at all. But unfortunately, there are just as many who are. I always say that it's 50-50. I think that's fair. 50% who are not at all, and 50% who are. And the reason we can say this is because it has been proven that if you have a name that sounds too ethnic, especially black, your resume will literally get thrown in the trash. Okay, there have been countless experiments and studies of black people lying and saying that they are white and then getting a call back immediately. Same resume, same application, everything, and getting called back versus when they said they're black, no call back, resumes being thrown in the damn trash. People who said they were on a job and were told if these names sound black, throw that damn resume in the garbage. They don't want to hire. This is a real thing and it's very sad. It's very sad, but it's very real. Okay. So I just wanted to share this video with you. I want to know, what do you think about this? He says, no, I'm going to make sure that I am going to look out for black people. I know how hard they have it. And if they're qualified, damn it, they're going to get that job working for me. He said, black people have amazing stories. I know that a number have been through a lot and other people have too. But, he says, no, I want to look out for black people. I'm going to use the privilege that I have and the positions I'm able to get as a white man to help a black person. And it is real. I know this is real because I've dated interracially, and the white guy that I was talking to, I mean, we were young and he had a job and he had a black friend. He wanted to put his black friend on to get the job as well. So when he told his boss that his friend also wanted a job, the first thing his boss, who was not black, said, well, is he black? Okay. I also saw him move up in certain positions that I know he kind of wasn't even qualified for. And it's because he was white. And I've seen this with someone else. And I know some people will say, well, you can't get mad at white people for looking out for white people. Other groups of people do it and all that. Get in where you fit in and all that. People will say that, but other people will say, look, this rigged. Okay. A lot of things are rigged against you, even if you are qualified. And we can go into history and all that other stuff. So I just wanted to share this video. I want to know, how do you feel? He said, look, I know the game. I know what's going on. I know a lot of you are qualified. You don't get hired. I know you'll work hard if you are qualified, and I'm going to look out for you. I will hire you if you are qualified. And I really want to know, what do you all think about this? You know, in a perfect world, in a perfect country, everyone's getting hired. It doesn't matter what race you are, everyone's looking out for each other. Unfortunately, that's not the reality of the world that we live in. Okay, it's not. And I know some people again will say, well, you can't be mad if white people look out for white people like other groups do and all this other stuff. So, um what do you all think? You know, we know the history of this country, job discrimination, and so much more. What do you think about this? Is this what you feel is an ally? I think that is very nice of him to do that. Very nice of him to do something like that. Okay. So that is basically it for today's video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell and click all notifications. And let me know, what do you think about all of this? I'll be reading your comments. And anyone watching, do you do things like this? Don't be shy in the comment section to tell us if you do things like this, if you're not a Black person. Okay, so let us all know. Bye, everybody.